Let's just get into it, boys. First of all, start off pretty easy here. Biggest departures. I know there's been a couple. Lukaku, technically it's not official, but it really is. It's done. All the big reporters have come out and stated that it's a done deal. Di Marzio, Romano. Quickly, I'll share a couple of big transfers I think that were pretty bad for the team that they left. I have to go with number one, Romero. Maybe not in order, but Christian Romero from Atalanta to Tottenham.
Yep.
That was pretty bad. Obviously the price they got him for I think is really good, but seeing someone of his level leave the Serie A really hurts the league, and not only Atalanta, I'm not worried about him leaving Atalanta. I think Demiral and him are similar, as in they're both reckless players, but I think with three at the back they play pretty well, so I think Demiral will slide right in there. And Lovato, but I'll get into him later on. I have him noted down. But yeah, Romero, to lose the best defender, quote unquote, because he won the award, in the Serie A, is always going to hurt your league, and that's what happened here. Donnarumma, we spoke about this already in the podcast in the past, but Donnarumma to PSG, obviously it's a big one. DePaul to Atletico, I think that's one nobody's really talking about, but I think DePaul.
I was just thinking about that too. Like
that's a big one,
especially for Udinese, who really not yet hasn't really used that money to build their team and upgrade their squad. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that. But yeah, that's a huge loss for a team like Udinese, and also for the league, because DePaul, he was probably one of the best. He's been in the league for a few years. He proved that he's probably one of the best midfielders in the league. I personally think he's one of the most underrated midfielders in the world. I don't think he gets enough credit that he deserves. He does a lot of good things. He's very strong when he's shooting the ball. He's a very powerful runner. Like he's strong when he's running, and he draws a lot of fouls. He just calms the tempo of the play, and he can also create and score goals. So he's kind of like a complete midfielder too. So it's a huge loss for Udinese and also for the league.
Yeah, massive. That was a big loss. There's also Hakimi to PSG. I think it's another one that people talked about, but not to the extent I expected them to talk about him. He's a great player, and for Inter to lose him, it's a big loss for them. And then obviously Lukaku losing. Oh man, guys, we've lost so many players in this league. I'm just thinking about it right now. Yeah. Hakimi, DePaul, Lukaku, Romero, Donnarumma. Oh my God, the Serie got much weaker, and a lot of these guys did well in either Copa America and Euro, and we dominated the Euro. The Serie A did, not only Italy, but the Serie A, and to lose half these guys, it hurts. So that's tough. But I guess we'll start with Dan. What do you think for the losses? Which ones were the biggest and really going to hurt the league the most?
Yeah, so for me, I think you nailed them perfectly. I think Lukaku's a huge loss. Deal's 95% done. Donnarumma, also a huge loss, especially because Milan really didn't get much for him. Like, they didn't get anything for him, actually. He left on a free transfer. Hakimi is a huge loss. And for me, too, I'm going to go outside the league. Not outside the league, outside players. I think Antonio Conte is also a huge loss for the league.
That's huge.
He's not coaching right now. Like, there's reports that he could have joined Spurs, but something happened. And Madrid, he was linked to the Madrid job, but I guess that didn't, obviously that didn't happen since they hired Ancelotti. So even him now, like, not being talked about, like, as him being maybe a potential replacement for one of these coaches, is questioning, like, if maybe Conte is going to take the year off and just see his options following the next summer, or if, say, a coaching job opens up, say, maybe in Serie A, a team like, who knows, Napoli, Roma, whoever, if they sack their managers, will they take the chance to bring in, like, a Conte, or will they wait till the summer and see if there's any, like, coaching opportunities for him? So for me, that's a huge loss. Romero is definitely a huge loss for Atalanta, because he was incredible last season. So him making that big money move to Spurs is huge. And there's reports even, like, say, Hernandez too could have been out, but I've seen those seem to be died out. So that would have been a big loss for Milan as well. So those are the few of them, like, I can think of the top of my head. And hopefully now, like, with Serie A, like, we get to maintain these players, because I know the Serie A was hit hard with COVID, so it's hard for us to bring in players because a lot of teams are now looking for loan with obligation to buy. So hopefully, Serie A this season can get back on the track they were prior to COVID, and we can see a lot more players and maybe a big name player come in.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Dan. I think, like you and Enzo said, the big players that we lost, Lukaku, for me, has to be one of the biggest. It just, outside of Serie A, everyone respected him and gave him the credit, gave him a lot of credit, especially after the Euros and whatnot. So it was good to see that someone in Serie A was getting good credit other than Ronaldo. And now to see him leave back to the Premier League, I think it just hurts the league a lot. Obviously, as a Juve fan, him leaving brings joy to my face. It feels like Inter kind of just bought the Scudetto there. They just bought whoever they needed to win the Scudetto, and they just kind of got rid of everyone. Lukaku's gone. Hakimi's gone. Conte's gone. Who knows if more players are leaving. I know they're in a liquidation deal, so for Inter fans, it's not a good time to be a fan right now. Donnarumma, obviously, that he could have stayed in the league if Allegri had a brain, but he's at PSG now, and I think that PSG roster is something different. So hopefully he could break out and start over Navas and prove to everyone why he's the best goalkeeper in Europe right now. But other than that, I think Lukaku and Donnarumma are the two heavy hitters, and then you have players like Romero, DePaul, who just hurts the league even more. The fact that they just left.